Okay, so here's a video on subtracting mixed numbers or mixed fractions. So I've got 1.5 take away 5/8. So for this, when we're adding, we are able to just take out our whole numbers, but it doesn't work the same for subtracting. For our subtracting fractions, we need to change our mixed numbers into improper fractions. So over here, my working out space, 1.5 as an improper fraction. Well, I know I've got one whole lot of something split into two. So that means I've got 2 parts plus an extra part. I've now got 3 parts out of 2. So I can rewrite my fraction, 3/2, take away 5/8. Now the next thing we need to remember is that our denominators must be the same. They are not at the moment. So I've got to think, is there something that 2 and 8 both go into? I might know this fact, I might need to do some working out. I'm just going to show you my 2 times table, so write down my multiples, 2, 4, 6, yes, 8 works, which means my denominator needs to be 8. This one is already 8, so we do nothing to it, we leave it. This one, however, needs 8 as my denominator. So I'm going to take it over here. So I've got to think, what do I do to my 2 to get to 8? 2, 4, 6, 8. I've multiplied it by 4. Whatever I've done to my denominator, I need to do to my numerator. So 3 times 4 is 12. So I've now got my 3.5 has changed to 12/8. So 12/8, take away my 5/8, which stay the same. Denominator stays the same, 12 take away 5 is 7. So our answer is 7/8. Okay, so another one we'll have a go at. Change my colour pen. Let's have a go at 2 3/5. Take away 4/6. So we notice that we've got a mixed number here, so we need to change that into an improper fraction. So over here, 2 3/5. I know my denominator is going to be 5 because it's still split up into 5s. I've got 2 lots of the 5. So 5, 10, plus the extra 3 parts, so I've got 13 parts. So my 2 3/5 becomes 13/5. We're still taking away 4/6. Okay, so at this point we've got to think, right, what could be my common denominator? Now we're going to move on from using our multiples and notice that if we multiply our denominators together, that will give me a denominator. So 5 times 6 is 30, which means my denominator needs to be 30. So 13/5 needs to be something over 30. Okay, so what have I times 5 by? Well, I've times it by 6, which means I need to times 13 by 6. Now, some people at this point might be like, oh, I don't know that. Well, if you know what 12 times 6 is, which is 72, we're just adding another 6. So we've got 78 over 30. Now I need to change my 4/6 into 30ths. So what have I done to my 6 to get to 30? I've times it by 5. So I need to multiply my 4 also by 5 to get 20. Oh, so I've got 20 over 30. Again, my denominator stays at 30 when we're subtracting fractions. And then we do 78 take away 20. I only need to focus on my tens column, so I've got myself 58. Now I could leave my answer like this, but you'll notice that my numerator is larger than my denominator, which tells me I could change this back into a mixed number. So I go to say to myself, how many 30s can I get into 58? Well, if I count it up in 30s, 30, 60, I can only get one whole one. So I get one whole one, and I take that 30 away from 58, and I know that I've got 28 over 30. Again, I could leave my answer as this, but using my math skills, I can see that they're both even numbers. Now, with even numbers, I know they can both be divided by 2. So 28 halved is 14, 30 halved is 15. So my final answer is 1 whole and 14 over 15. But it's really important to remember that all 3 of these answers are correct because they're all equivalent. So it's whatever you feel happiest with at the moment. So I thought I'd show you one last example of subtracting mixed numbers. So here we've got 3 1/4 take away 2 4/6. When we were adding fractions, we were able to just partition our wholes and take them out of the equation, but we can't do that with subtracting. So with subtracting fraction mixed numbers, we must remember that we have to turn them into impropers. So 3 1/4 as an improper fraction. Well, I've got 3 lots of something split into 4. So 3 lots of 4 is 12 plus an extra part. So I've got 13 parts over 4. So that has become 13 over 4. We're subtracting still, and then 2 wholes and 4/6. We've got 2 lots of something split into 6. So I've got 12 parts plus the extra 4 parts. I've got 16 parts over 6. Okay, so now I need to have my common denominator. Now I could multiply the 2 of them together. 4 times 6 makes 24. So a common denominator could be 24. Or if I write down my multiples, I might find a smaller one. So 4, 8, 12, 6, 12. So 12 would work. Remember, it would work with 24 or 12 as long as you make sure you are multiplying your numerator by the same. For this example, we're going to stick with the 12 because it's our lowest one. So 13 over 4 into 12ths. So all done to my 4 to get to 12. I've multiplied by 3. So I multiply the same by 3, so 13 times 3. Again, I can use my fact of 12 times 3, which is 36. One more lot of 3 makes 39. So I've got 39 12ths. 16 over 6 into 12ths. Well, we're multiplying that by 2. Multiply the top number by 2. All we need to do is double it. So double 10 makes 20. Double 6 is 12. 20 add 12. We've got 32 over 12. Okay, so 39, take away 32 is 7/12. And that's it, that's your answer.